to 29, 3705 Managua, 3705. A female is hallucinating. Much go out to attend.
Out of the car. Out of the car. Out of the car. Out of the car. Out of the car.
Next time I'm back in service, 1828.
Get out of the car. Then get out. No. Then get out.
Get out of the car.
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 Shots fired.
Shots fired. Stop the car. Stop. Stop. Car.
We're going to have a 34 on. Call him out. He's going to be out.
This is the murder of Takiya Young. Takiya Monette Yvette Young was born on August 1st, 2002 in Columbus, Ohio to Timothy Young Sr. and Danica Hope. Takiya was also a loving mom to two young boys, Jacoby and Jakenley. Takiya had a zest for living. She loved cooking, dancing, and creating TikTok video. She also was a prankster and loved pulling jokes on those that she loved. During her years at Champion Middle School and Bridgescape High School, Takiya loved track and field. It was something that she was very passionate about. After high school, Takiya pursued a career in customer service in which she excelled at. On August 31st, 2023, Takiya, along with several others, was accused of suspected shoplifting a store. As she proceeded outside of the store, a police officer from Blendon Township, located near the Water Village suburb northeast of Columbus, confronted Takiya. He asked her to step out of the vehicle, and she rolled down her window and asked why. He asked her again to step out of the vehicle, and Takiya refused to obey verbal commands to exit the vehicle and instead drove directly at an officer, who fired his gun into the windshield, killing her and her unborn child. A week later, after the killing, the Blendon Township Police Department released the body camera footage that shows what transpired in the Kroger parking lot. A store employee flagged down officers who were in the parking lot on an unrelated call, according to the Columbus Dispatch. Takiya could be seen in the four-door sedan through the body cameras. Officer 1 approached her at the side of her vehicle, as mentioned before, and asked her if she could step out. She refused. Another officer went in front of her car, tapped on the front of the car, and demanded her to step out, in which she refused and proceeded to drive the car. As she did, the officer fired a shot that struck Takiya, causing her to die later on at a local hospital. Ass buyer, who also happened to be a doctor, tried to assist the police with medical help for Takiya, but it was too late. On an updated release on Monday, Blendon Township Police Chief John Belford explained that the process to release the body cam video involved identifying which redaction must be made, getting approval of the redaction, and confirming they comply with the law from legal counsel. The police agency planned to give the video to the state agency investigating the shooting to ensure it won't interfere with its investigation. Blendon Township has not named either officer, citing Marcy Law, which aims to protect crime victims, but has been cited by police agency as the reason they can't release the name of officers involved in such situations. The department declined to tell the dispatch how many years either officers has worked there, saying that doing so would effectively identify them due to the size of the department. The officers were both initially placed on paid administrative leave, but Belfort said Friday that the officers who did not fire his weapon has returned and is back on patrol duty. Young's family has condemned the decision of the department to shield the officers' identity authorities, saying the use of Marcy law to not release the name is an overreach and abuse of the law. Nadine Young, Takiya's grandmother, spoke to the press, and she stated, "We all are going to be rallying around Takiya's sons, and we will be a village for them, taking care of them, getting them into school, and keeping them focused and not having them hate the police. I don't want them growing up like that." This is such a tragedy for the family of Takiya Young. Obviously, her life was off track. She did engage in some dangerous activities. However, that does not justify the loss of her life and what happened to her. She was a human being first and foremost, and a mother trying her best, although she will be judged, to raise her two young sons. No, she was not perfect, and yes, she did get in trouble with the law, but it's very sad that this young woman being pregnant will lose her life over petty theft. Melissa Thomas St. Clair, Takiya former teacher, stated, "Young people make mistakes, but because I make mistakes, I should learn from them and not die from them. When I'm hearing that shoplifting now equates to losing your life and you're pregnant, that deserves outrage." Columbus attorney Sean Walton stated at a press conference, "I encourage Blendon Township to allow us to know the officers involved in the shooting. Otherwise, we have to assume that all 15 of those officers may be potentially a murderer. That's not fair to anybody. It's not fair for this family to be bullied by a system that should be protecting them." Blendon Township Police Chief John Belford continued to state that every loss of life is a tragedy. Takiya family is understandable upset. I personally spoken with a member of her family, and I will continue to keep them informed about what's happening. Blendon Township Police request the Hawaii Attorney General Bureau of Criminal Investigation to conduct an outside investigation of the shooting. The procedure is a standard among the larger Columbus Division of Police and many other law enforcement agencies in the surrounding Franklin County when one of their officers kills or injures someone in a shooting. So this story is very complex. Obviously, it has a lot of layers. And I realized that she had some restraining order against her from certain family members as well. However, she was a mother, and she was a young 21-year-old woman at that. My concern is for her two young boys. And like the grandmother stated, I hope that they do not grow up hating authorities as well. My thoughts and my prayers goes out to them, and I hope that the remaining of her family could wrap these two boys up with a bountiful of love and guidance throughout their childhood going into adulthood. This was a very horrible end to a troubled young lady. May Takiya Young rest in peace and find solace in the fact that her family is left behind to take care of her two young children and guide them along. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.